Okay. We are live in the building. Hello, everybody. I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds to come on in. Come on in. Welcome. Happy Sunday, fun day. And if you are catching the replay, hello to you all too. Thank you for rewatching this tonight's episode. Oh, here we go. All right, I'm gonna give it a couple minutes here because you guys take a little longer than normal to come on in. So I'm gonna give you a little chance before I just hop into it. Rolo's gonna be late per usual, you guys. Y'all know how Rolo does. Give me a second. I'm gonna share out. For those of you that's coming in, make sure you comment. Make sure you put at highlight or at followers so that way everybody can see this. You know what I'm saying? Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. All right. Okay. Resharing, reposting, highlight. Oops. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Kiera. I see y'all watching. You guys give me a second. My tablet's running slow, but I'm highlighting everybody. Giving everybody a second to come on in. Come on in. Y'all know how we do. Hey, tonight. Hey, Bree. I see y'all on here. Okay, we got a few of you guys coming in, got a few coming in. Make sure you drop those comments, those follows, those highlights, share it on out. No, Michelle, Rolo's gonna be late. I'm not gonna be solo the whole show. So y'all know how I do. I mean, I'm here. So we gonna let them trickle in as they choose to. That's the whole beautiful thing, freedom of choice. And I love them regardless. But yeah, Rolo's picking up wifey right now. So, but yes. Oh, look, hi Jose. How do you do? Hey D. You guys are trickling in fast tonight. Look, y'all didn't even let me get the introduction. But I love that. Because you know what I'm saying? Y'all on time. I like that. All right, so let me get started down here. Okay. Welcome officially to another episode of Heightened and Enlightened the Life Show, where we get to have real conversations about real life issues in real time. And the whole purpose of this podcast is hopefully each of these conversations that we have leave you guys feeling either heightened, enlightened, or even both. You know what I'm saying? That's the point and purpose of all this. And you guys know it takes a village. So please be sure to like, comment, follow. If you are following us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and share our YouTube page out so everybody else can catch us too. But welcome in. I am one of your hosts, Shay. Rolo is coming in late. I'm not sure about Ashley, but either way it go, you guys got me. So I'm here in the building. Now, recapping last week's episode. That was a heavy hitter for me. I think I dropped a couple tears, but we talked about grief and processing it and what that looks like and healthy ways of processing it. And even talked about some of our own grief. Ashley joined last week and it was deep. And if you guys want to go back and watch that, you can always go catch the replay either on my page, the Heightened and Enlightened page, or YouTube. Either way it go, it's on one of those platforms. Go check it out. This week, we're getting into something a little different, a little lighter, but you guys know everything that we talk about is still near and dear to the heart. So this week, we're talking about dysfunctional family dynamics. Ooh, dysfunctional family dynamics. Oh, and thank you guys for tagging everybody. Oh, Ashley's doing invoices and babysitting. Okay, well, y'all know we support the family. So, hey, Ashley, look, she babysitting and doing her invoices. Oh, thank you, Kiera. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Like, I appreciate y'all. Okay, so with this dysfunctional family dynamics, Oh, I don't know how my phone ring. If y'all can still hear me, say something in the comments for me, because my phone was just ringing and hopefully they didn't stop it. Can you still hear me clear? Put a thumbs up if you can still hear me clearly. Okay. Okay, bet. Thank you, Bree. Seeing ya. All right. So, dysfunctional family dynamics. Now, there's a few people that don't quite really know what you mean when you say dysfunctional family dynamics. So, y'all know me. I always pull up definitions. I like to know what I'm talking about for sure instead of just, going off of my only opinions. So, when we speak about dysfunctional family dynamics, we're referring to unhealthy communication and interaction patterns that create a chaotic or stressful environment within a family unit. And to go a little deeper with that, a dysfunctional family is also one that does not function as expected, where conflict, neglect, and abuse are regular occurrences. And with that being said, I feel like all of us at one point in time have experienced some type of dysfunctionalness within our family unit. I can say I have. Um, Now that goes to the question of the day. So with that being said, I asked the question of the day was I think I can't remember it verbatim, but anyways, it's basically the gist of it. What dysfunctional family dynamic did you occur as a child that made you change as an adult? Like, for instance, for me, we always use personal experiences and things that happen with us. For me, my biggest thing, you guys have heard me talk about this multiple times. I was a big family secret, big secret. Didn't find out about my father till I was 25. Thought my father who raised me, my dad who raised me, thought he was my dad the whole time, but that was something else. And then finding out the truth, like so many people knew about this, but I didn't. So for me, that was something that was major that changed the way that I looked at life. Like with my kids and my future generations, we don't do any secrets, no family secrets. My kids, I'm very transparent with them. I'm very transparent with my family now, like, period. Any dynamic. If you are able to sit down and handle the truth, baby, I'm going to give it to you. That's just what it did to me. So, with me giving you guys that example, drop in the comments what type of family dysfunctional dynamic did you encounter that made you change the way that you look at life as an adult. And there's a lot of them, you guys. And to help you guys out, there's a lot of them, like poor communication, unhealthy boundaries, emotional suppression. Like, did your family ever tell you not to cry? That chin up, chest out. Sometimes that can create a dysfunctional family dynamic. How about conditional love? I was surprised to hear this one in there. Conditional love. Only showing your kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, whoever they are, only showing them love when they're meeting your conditions. That's interesting. Or let's say we already know the abuse or addiction and neglect and abandonment. And then we have denial, or what is this one? Denial or avoidance. So which one of those did you guys encounter? Okay, Michelle, you said you can't think of anything from your youth. Sometimes in a way that might be good. I mean, it just depends on what you went through during your childhood. I could say I went through a lot of suppression. Like, I didn't remember a lot of stuff from my childhood until I started writing my book. And when I started writing my book, everything started coming out. It's like I started remembering things that I was like, wow, that I didn't, things that triggered me and things that I had no idea that, I had experienced. So I definitely get that. I see all the you guys responding. You can hear me. Okay, appreciate it. Yeah, but what did you guys encounter though? I'm not seeing any comments coming up. Y'all know I don't like having conversations with myself. I feel weird. So, but yeah, dysfunctional family dynamics. Oh. I feel like my family goes through the denial and avoidance a whole lot because we get into it with each other and we just won't talk. So I feel like we go through that a lot. And that's something I would really love to get out of, because sometimes with just a little bit of communication, you never realize how much understanding you can gain just from talking. Communication is key. And not only communication, but comprehension is key. And with communication, it helps with comprehension. So, I feel like I really wish that my family could really understand those factors. Okay, going to some of the comments, Michelle. Only thing I recall was being picked up in school, fourth, fifth grade. Okay. And Bree, mine is kind of like yours when it comes to my dad. I didn't know who he was till I was 10, but I knew his family, which was kind of weird. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I mean, everybody has their different experiences, Bree. I can see that, but having experience, like I didn't know none of them. So. But I can see how that was weird and how that was weird and confusing to you. So how did that shape you in adulthood though? Like, because it doesn't sound like it was fully a family secret, but how did that shape you in adulthood? And then D, okay, you were essayed on your 17th birthday by a family friend and your family didn't believe you. Oh, I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that. So going through that, like, how did that shape you as an adult? Because clearly it sounds like your family was in denial and they were denial and avoidant. That was a very major dysfunctional family dynamic that you endured. But how did that make you look at life? That is interesting. Well, I know, but we can't say the word on here. I don't think so. So I'm just staying a little filtered. Cause yeah, I don't think we can say it. So just meeting the guidelines. For those of you that are going to read the comments, they'll see it. But I know on certain platforms you can't say certain things, so that's why I didn't say it. But D, I knew exactly what you were talking about. Oh, he finally confessed. And Michelle, yes, it's okay. It's definitely okay to disagree. Oh, oh wow. So what did that do to your family though, D? Like, I mean, how does that dynamic look now for you? That's interesting. Uh, yeah, that is interesting. But and I'm definitely sorry to hear that. For me, I went through that as well. Mine happened when I was in foster care. I was a lot younger, but I didn't even tell my family because I didn't feel like I could trust anyone. So for me, it was a different situation. It was like I could say for me, it was from my family not being big on communication. I felt like I couldn't trust anybody with that information. I didn't feel safe to tell anybody that information for a very long time. So, I mean, let's see. Well, they felt stupid and we went to therapy over it. Well, that's always good. That is good. I'm glad you did get some therapy when it comes to that. Let me see. I want to point out when it comes to dysfunctional family dynamics, they say some of the causes of dysfunctional family dynamics is unresolved trauma. It could be mental health conditions, substance abuse, socioeconomic challenges, and that's like, financial issues. Um, and they say also controlling or abusive parents. So if you endured controlling or abusive parents, that could also shift your family dynamic. So that is interesting. Oh, oh, okay, D. I just seen you said you were at bingo. You don't think you spelled it right, but got you on the words. Okay. Yeah, I just didn't want to say it. But once again, like I said, I'm sorry you went through that. And it just Going through stuff as a child, though, it really makes you look at life different. Well, some of us. I mean, everybody's different. For me, once I got older and realized that I grew up with a, I don't like really saying dysfunctional. I always say unhealthy. Because I feel like for me, dysfunctional just sounds a little more worse. I mean, dysfunctional sounds a little harder to come back from. But for me, growing up in an unhealthy family and in an unhealthy dynamic really made me look at myself. Like for real, it really made me look at myself because the things that I saw, the things that I heard, things that, just witnessing as a child, I knew I didn't want to emulate. I mean, unfortunately, there are some things that I did, but that's the beautiful part about growth and healing is that once I started growing and I started healing in life, I realized I didn't want to carry a lot of these traits into my parenting and, raising my children. Because, like I told you guys before, like when it comes to my kids, I'm very transparent, extremely transparent. Um, I communicate until I can't communicate anymore. One thing that these kids are always going to be able to say about me and anybody around me, you're always going to be able to say, exactly how I feel. Whether I tell you now or whether I tell you a week from now, you're always going to know exactly how I feel. So, hey, Mama Gwen, I see you on here. Thank you for joining in. Taylor into some of these comments so I can keep up because y'all know my eyes are not my strong suit. So I got to keep up when I see them filtering in. Okay, so Bree says it definitely messed me up and my dad's relationship for a long time till I grew up and finally got an understanding. But my dad was wrong, but I just forgave him and tried to let it go. Yes, forgiveness is very important. Forgiveness is extremely important when it comes to identifying, an issue. I feel like that's number one. And for those of you that are just now tuning in, you guys were talking about dysfunctional family dynamics and what it is and some of the characteristics. I mentioned a few of the causes. I like to talk about that. That's going to bring me into another thing right here. We have some of the roles. So I have a question for you guys after I talk about these roles. It's been said that when a child grows up in a dysfunctional family dynamic, the child can take on one of these 5 roles. And put in the comments which one of these roles resonates with you. The first one, the hero. And that kind of speaks for itself. The hero role. You want to save everything and everybody because you feel like you didn't get saved and you feel like, you weren't protected. We have the scapegoat. That's the second role. We have the third role, the lost child. I feel like I know a couple of lost children, shall I say. My fault, you guys. The next one's the mascot. Now, I'm not quite sure what that role entitles. The mascot. It's interesting because I know what a mascot is, but I didn't really get into reading what that role entitles. And the last role is the enabler. And I'm going to tell y'all now, the one that stuck out to me the most, to be honest, was the hero. Not only the hero, but for me, the enabler. And because the enabler is the person who maintains the look or the appearance of the normalcy within the family. And I feel like that was me. I'm the forgiving one. I've always been the one to just let it go. When it came to being around me, it looked like my family was just a nice, happy family because people couldn't believe the stuff, that I would tell them, like, oh, y'all just look so cool. Like everybody looks so close, so tight. Yeah. I feel like that was because of me. I always said that I was the rock of my family, my immediate family. Let me say that. Because the extended family, that's a whole different topic. But I feel like I've always been the rock of my immediate family. And yeah, I feel like I was the one that painted that pretty picture. It made it to where so many people could be avoidant and in denial about situations. So that one stuck out to me. Which one of those roles resonated with y'all? Drop that in the comment. Okay, Michelle, you say you were the fixer for a long time. Mm, yeah, that's one too. That is a big one. That's a big one. The fixer. You wanted to fix everything. So why do you feel like you became the fixer? What happened um with you being younger? I mean, I know you're commenting in these comments, but just briefly, like what happened being younger to where you felt like you needed to fix everything and everybody? Here's the forecast for tomorrow. Oh. Look for mostly well, thank you, Alexa. Okay, Alexa's telling us the forecast. All right, and if you guys need me to repeat these again, I will. We got the hero, the scapegoat, the lost child, the mascot, and the enabler. Which one of these resonate with you? If you guys are on YouTube, I can still see your comments, so drop them in there. Which one resonates with you? Yeah, being the fixer is something else. I feel like I got hero syndrome, not just within my family, but I have hero syndrome, period, because that was definitely me. I felt very unprotected as a child, growing up, especially going into foster care, being a girl. And when I was in foster care, it was like anything went with me. Those kids didn't care. The foster parents didn't care. I was shuffled around a lot. Like I went through a lot being in foster care. So as the only girl, I felt very unprotected, very unprotected. So for me, I just, and then once I started going to school, I was teased and picked on. I was bullied a lot. So as I got older, that hero syndrome definitely kicked in strong with me. I still fight it till this day. I always want to save everybody and everyone. To the point, the sad part is my kid's father's family, like I'm still close with the family, and his family even used to call me Shay Shay Say today. Because I was always there. So I feel like I picked on that. I took on the hero syndrome in life, but then when it came to my family, I was the enabler. So I feel like both of those resonated with me, and just being transparent, I feel like I witnessed that. So Bree, you feel like you were the lost one? Okay, and the enabler. Okay, let me see. Oh, Michelle, you say arguments are what you try to fix. Okay, so you tried to fix arguments, tried to make everybody happy. Okay, I get it. D says, when this happened to me and no one believed me, I acted out. So I tried to block it out, believed it was my fault for a while. I was the lost child. Okay. Oh, okay. So I feel y'all. I feel y'all. And those are big too. So how are you guys navigating through those? Like, because you kind of identify what resonates with you. How are you navigating through that? What are you doing to navigate through that? And navigating through that, with that being said, we have, y'all know how I like to identify situations. And then I like to also talk about solutions. That's the beautiful part about this whole podcast, because the purpose of this was to bring up real issues and talk about them and use real scenarios, and we got real solutions, because we can't just stay stuck in the problem or the issue. We got to talk about how to get out of it too. Okay, I got them popping up from both. Okay. Okay, Michelle, you said you dropped the fixer at 45. I feel that. I'm still struggling to drop my hero off. Because yeah, she's still on there. That cape is still on there, that superwoman. So I will tell you, I take my cape off a lot more than I used to. I know how to tell people no now. And my favorite saying, and if y'all around me, y'all know I stole this from Ashley years ago, and I'm carrying a torch, but not my monkey, not my circus. So that is my favorite saying, period. And that if I can't change it or control it, I don't care about it. So I mean, they still come to me like, oh, I need help. I need help. My thing now is, I'm not gonna save you if you're not willing to save yourself. Now, if you're out there and I see you doing everything that you can do, you getting up, you trying to go to work, you're trying to figure life out, you're trying. I have no problem with giving you a boost. I'll boost you up. I have no problem with that. Or if I'm ahead of you, I have no problem reaching back and pulling you up. I have no problem with that because that means you're somewhere close to me in your race. As far as when it comes to a person sitting at the beginning of the race and I'm in the middle, I'm sorry, baby, I'm not coming all the way back there to get you. You better figure it out like I have to figure it out. I can tell you where the path is and I can tell you where the water is, but it's going to be up to you to get there to drink. So that's what I mean by I laid the hero to the side for a little while. That's what I did with her. And it works out that way for me because I keep more of my peace and I still fulfill my purpose, which is my purpose is it is to help and help promote healing and be there for people. But with that being said, I got to find a way to still keep my peace. And that's just how I do it, saying no more often. So I definitely feel that sometimes you got to drop that off. Okay. So going to some solutions. So we kind of talked about dysfunctional family dynamics, what it was. We also kind of hit on a little bit of some of the roles and characteristics that pertain that. So how to address dysfunctional family dynamics. Number one, and we talked about this before, you got to set boundaries. Boundaries is important with any relationship in life. And I will say with your family, boundaries is numero uno. First, that's top tier because from my experience, your family is the hardest to set boundaries with because they've known you the longest. So they've been around you the longest. Well, not all family, but most family, they've been around you the longest. So they'll test you the most. So I feel like that is like super important. You have to set boundaries and what that looks like. Because I like to always go a little deeper with some of the stuff I tell people. Because when we say things, people feel like it's not attainable. It is. So what setting boundaries with your family looks like. Y'all know we all got that one cousin that will call us for everything. I don't have that no more. But anyways, we got that one cousin or sibling that calls us for everything. Setting healthy boundaries with that would be sometimes telling that sibling or that cousin no. Or if it's your mom or if it's your dad or whatever it is. Cutting down that dependency. That's setting a big boundary with sometimes letting that person figure it out on their own. Now, like I say, you can pick and choose your battles when you want to be there. But telling that person no and making them figure it out will save you a lot of peace. That is how you start setting boundaries and what it looks like to start setting boundaries. Because ain't nobody going to take care of you like you. So, right, retire the cape, Michelle, retire the cape. Yeah, it's not all the way retired, but it's getting there. It's getting there. I don't know. I'm still partly Shay say today. Just one Shay say today, not two. But anyways, the second one is if need be, seek external help. Because sometimes this stuff looks a little crazy, and I feel like it makes you feel worse than anything. Because when you're setting boundaries with your family and you're telling people like, no, I can't do this for you, or no, you can't stay with me, or no, I don't have it for you, they tend to make you feel bad, so sometimes it's good to just seek some external help from, someone who's either been through it, someone who's willing to just listen to you without judgment, or someone who can either give you like sound advice. You know what I'm saying? So that all matters. Seeking external help is really good when it comes to dealing with dysfunctional family dynamics. And I chose 3 solutions. Our next solution will be seek therapy. That one, I feel like in today's world, I feel like, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like that one should be up there with number 1. Setting boundaries and seeking therapy should be hand in hand. Because we have a lot of people out there that those dysfunctional family dynamics run deep. Like we heard our friend D say, she went through something with a family member. That's deep. And in some situations, therapy is good. Therapy is great. I'm not going to say in some situations, therapy is great. In a lot of situations, depending on what you're looking to get out of it. But that's very important. I know in my situations, I've been through a lot within my family, so I had to seek therapy and it helped me. Now, me, sometimes I feel like as an individual, I feel like my mind gets so deep and I go through so much. I start to feel judged and analyzed. But that just was because, I didn't find a person for me. But just find somebody for you. And that's all that is. Just find somebody for you. Talk to somebody, because sometimes some issues are just harder to work through by yourself, especially when it comes to your family. So that's important. Okay, let me go back to some of these comments here. All right, Michelle, it's hard to set boundaries with family, but I have. Yes, you are very right. Yeah, I want to know something crazy. The beautiful part about this village is I can be really transparent with you guys. But the hardest family members for me to set boundaries with, I feel like, were my brothers. Um because having four brothers and being the only girl and trying to date and have, like, have a family and trying to do all of that, like, my brothers did not understand certain aspects about things. Like, for instance, not popping up at my house. There were times where I was like, why? So that was the hardest for me, to set boundaries with my brothers. And males are different. They different when it comes to setting boundaries, especially when you the sister. Boundaries don't exist to them. And sometimes it takes for me to really get crazy and really talk crazy for them to really feel me like, okay, she's not playing. Yeah, we've gotten to that point before. But I feel like setting boundaries with my brothers were the hardest to do when it came to my family. Everybody else, they gonna do them. They don't care. But my brothers, because of the love and the closeness, and the history with all of us, it was like really hard. But we're there now and we good, and they respect it and I respect them, and so we don't have any problems. But yeah, so let me go. D says, I just left my drama family. How it's gonna be, because both my sisters isn't getting along. I'm caught in the middle. I tell them that I'm not picking sides. Hold on, let me see more. That I'm not picking sides, that I'm not going to be put in the middle, and don't call me to talk about one another. That is perfect way of setting boundaries, D. I'm with you right there. See, I wasn't raised with my sister, so I didn't go through stuff like that. My sister has a sister, but like I said, we weren't raised together. So we don't even have a relationship, to be honest. But so I never really went through the cattiness, the sister stuff. But my brothers, because boys, they'll just fight. So my brothers, there's not really many moments to where my brothers are calling me talking about each other, because they just gonna say it to each other and just do what they're gonna do. So I never really went through that, but I'm with you there, because if I was in that situation, I'd do the same thing. Like, y'all not gonna do that. Y'all not gonna call me and talk trash about each other. Okay, and so Michelle, she just commented, she said, D, I agree. Had two family members argue and put me in the middle, told them, you two have to figure it out. You're adults. I'm with y'all on that. Now, it depends. It depends on the certain situation, because I will say where sometimes my fixer hat does come on is if let's just say, for instance, my siblings are going through it, and I just, outside looking in, I just know this is stupid. Like, all right, at this point, either y'all gonna fall out or something dumb, or you're gonna make it work. Me, I would try and attempt to fix it, but as we all know, sometimes you just can't change another person's mind. So sometimes you just gotta let people do what they do. So if what I was contributing didn't help the situation, then I definitely let it go. But I think depending on what's going on, I would determine if my fixer hat, if I put on my fixer hat or not. And I can be honest about that, because there's some stuff I still try to fix. Like, I don't like people going through it about, this is my term I'm going to use, but I don't like it when family members go through it about dumb stuff. And I mean dumb stuff. He say, she say, little things like that, like, because for me, I will admit, family members, now I'm going to say this, I'm finding the words. In my book, family members get a slight more of a pass than a non-family member would. And and y'all got to remember, like, when I say family, I'm not just talking about blood relatives. I'm talking about who is in my family, because as you guys know, I have people that are not related to me that I look at as family. So just being honest, family to me gets a little more of a pass than a non-family member would with me. Meaning, example, because I got to give you guys examples for all this stuff. For instance, stealing something from me. Unfortunately, a lot of us have went through situations to where a family member has stole from us. It is what it is. For me, a family member stealing from me, I'll just probably just not talk to you anymore. Let it go at that. Whatever. We'll have a conversation depending on how the conversation flows. It is what it is. That's how I, handle family. Now, non-family, I can't say he's going to be handled the same. So that's what I mean by, for me, family gets a little more leeway than non-family members with me, because there's certain things that I'll react differently to, happening from my family versus if you're not in my family. And I'm just going to be honest about that. So that's just how I am. Let me see. Oh, and then D says, and when my sisters call me to talk about the other one, I just hang up because I don't want to hear, because we are all sisters. My mom died in 2019. We are our mom's reflection. Well, my condolences, D. And yeah, I guess that's one of the challenges of having sisters. Like I say, I cannot relate. So I don't know anything about that life. Yeah, I don't. But because yeah, brothers are definitely different. So I'm just gonna say, I hope all of that gets better with you and your sisters. Because yeah, you guys are all you got. With your mom not being around, that's important. So I will definitely add you guys in my prayers. Hopefully you can find another way of dealing with each other, and prayerfully your immediate family dynamic gets better. Because that's important. That's what we talk about tonight. Just how to have better family dynamics. And that's very important. Let me see if I got anything else to share with you guys, because Rolo's still not on here yet. And if y'all know me, y'all know I'm not a long talker. I feel like I've covered the whole basis already just by myself. And you guys have been great and fantastic with commenting. And I appreciate the interaction. I really do. Y'all just, yeah. I'm not one of these ones to be on here. And, I got to be transparent with you guys, and people say I'm great at this, but just being honest, I don't feel great at it, because number one, there's still something about public speaking that Shalonda just don't all the way just totally feel. But this is something God is pushing me to do. So I'm doing it. And as I'm doing this, I'm trying to be transparent through it all. So, some of these episodes might run shorter, some of these episodes might run longer, but just know each and every episode that you guys get, you're getting us raw, uncut, unfiltered, and that's the only way I can give it to you. So I'm going to continue to thank you guys for being here with me. but hey, you got to do what you called to do, no matter how weird it makes you feel. And I'm still pushing, like, regardless, I'm still doing this, and it's crazy. Hopefully Rolo's phone is charged. Right, Michelle, because you already know. No, he was picking up wifey from work though last one, right before I got on here. So, but you know what? His phone's never charged, so you do got a point. And that's the sad part. And that's the sad part. And thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know how I got an A+ in public speaking. And because you guys, this is like crazy for me. But like I say, I guess this goes back to we talked about before, is purpose. And it is my purpose to help promote self-healing. I am very aware that I can't heal you guys. I'm very aware of that. But like Tupac said, and I will always quote this quote because it is my favorite quote, that I might not can change the world, but I can spark the brain of someone who possibly can. So for me, that's all I can do. Like, I'm aware that I can't heal you myself, but maybe something that I say to you can spark some healing within you. And as long as I'm doing that, I'm fulfilling my purpose. And as long as I'm fulfilling my purpose, job well done, and I'm happy. So that's why we do this. Um, that's why we do this. And every single Sunday that you guys join in and you're a part of these conversations, it makes my heart just feel so much warmer because I know that the word is getting out there, so, and it just takes one of you guys. You never know. It just takes one of you guys to share it out to the right person and the right person hear it. You know how things work. And so all I can do is just be on here every Sunday and let God work, and just let that spirit take over. That's all I can do. So I'm always going to thank you guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for being a part of my village. Like, really, because when we started this, we didn't know what it was going to look like at all. It was just something that was presented. We didn't know how we were going to keep this going, to be honest, but it's still here. And we started in April. So from April to now, all the love and the thank yous in the world, you guys, because I love y'all. And yes, we're gonna end tonight a little early. God is definitely working through me, Michelle. And it makes me feel weird and uncomfortable, but like my best friend tells me often, if it doesn't make you feel uncomfortable, then you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So so yes, we just gonna go from there. But Dysfunctional Family Dynamics was tonight's episode. For any of you guys that want to go back and watch the replay, you are always welcome to. You can catch us on the Heightened Enlightened page, my Facebook page, which is Shalonda Taylor Made Heard, or you can catch us on YouTube, Heightened and Enlightened, the live show. Either way, we're going to make a point to be on here. We're going to try our best to show up every Sunday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And yes, I thank you. So last week, grief. Today, dysfunctional family dynamics. Next week, we are going to talk about life-changing events and navigating through your new norm. So stay tuned for that one, because that one's going to be interesting too. And you guys already know I'm always researching something, so I'm gonna make sure I bring my receipts. Y'all definitely gonna see my receipts. But yeah, I don't know. I think I covered everything, you guys. I wrote down all my bullet points, and see, without Rolo and Ashley on here, I feel like I just ran over everything way too fast with you guys. But y'all got the gist of it. Y'all know what it is. That's the beautiful part about all this, because everybody a part of this village, you guys are so intelligent. So you catch on to information so fast, and y'all know what's going on. So with that being said, we're going to end tonight a little early. And I love you too, Michelle, so much. Thank you. And you are in attendance every Sunday. I thank you so much. But we're going to end tonight early so I can let you guys get back to your Sunday fun day. Once again, I thank you for tuning in to this little short. We were on here for almost an hour, you guys, 45 minutes. So I thank you for tuning in to this short episode tonight of Heightened and Enlightened, the live show with Shay all day. You guys, like we always say, if you ever need any a ear, any advice, or whatever, don't hesitate to reach out to one of us. One of us. You can always reach out to Rolo. Excuse me. You can always reach out to Ashley, and you can always reach out to me. All three of us are always around now. Y'all know, be respectful with your times and everything, but we're always here to listen and don't judge. So just know that it takes a village, and we appreciate you. And I thank you guys for hanging with me tonight. But be sure to tune in next week. Prayerfully, my brother and sister will be back in the building. So they know what it is. But oh, okay, D, it's okay. I see you and love you too. I see you're at bingo. I'm at bingo. But yes, I love you, ladies, and I love you, gents, and thank you, my brothers and my sisters, for always being here with me. I can't thank you guys enough. So we're gonna get out of here. But until next time, stay heightened and enlightened. And also, like I like to say, happy healing, you guys. Happy healing. And be sure to follow, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. We'll catch you next Sunday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Facebook or YouTube. All right. Good night.